Howdy. Look what I made. Oh, Doobie! See how long it takes to smoke this thing. Dipstick. I like smoking big old joints. Doo-dah, doo-dah. This is about 4 grams of unicorn poop. I didn't buy it, but that's what it's called. And it has about 1/4 gram of Gorilla Glue keef in it. Irie. So the ocean was really calm and flat and quiet today. Big, huge rafts of birds floating around out there. You can see quite a distance. Been drippy off and on all day. Rained last night, drippy all day. Nothing serious, but enough to keep the tourists home, but not me. I mean, I got a pretty good amount of walking in. I got a video of some of it. I'm putting together a collection that's going to be like 20 short little 2-minute videos of different shit, eagles and what have you, and whatever I happen to just notice. It's a quick video. I got a pile of them building up in a folder. So, I don't know if anybody that watches these, I think there's only 2 or 3 of you, watches the auditing community at all. But it sure has fucking changed. And it kind of went from 3 or 4 or 5, maybe half a dozen well-educated, legally astute, honest to goodness, just journalists jumping into it, to a phenomenon that's got a little bit of everybody in it. All the way from just pure constitutional realist to cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then people who don't know anything about the law or the Constitution, they just want hits. So they learn the laws they need to know to do what they do. But it's changed a lot, and more and more and more and more police departments and other public buildings are becoming educated in the First Amendment because of it. And it's also bringing a lot of awareness to the abrasive nature of law enforcement towards the Fourth Amendment. Law enforcement pretty much openly, wantonly violates the Fourth Amendment every day, all day. Not in letter, but for sure in spirit. They lie and manipulate and do all kinds of shit to violate the Fourth Amendment. This one's going to take some doing. Starting to rain again now. can't catch it on the camera, but I have this LED light that looks like a candle, sort of. And then around the outside of it, I put this Christmas ornament that I found. And it makes fucking 3D geometric shadows all over the place. It's pretty cool. It's like a dodecahedron broadcast onto the ceiling. That's a subject I haven't done a video on that I should. Yeah, sacred geometry. I hate you describing it using that word, but non-Euclidean geometry. The squaring of the sphere and the building of the tree of life, and how the geometry of life that isn't taught in schools lays down over the human system and the spine and the brain and the energetic system and how all those things tie in together and harmonies and frequencies and periodicities and so forth. But that's going to take a different kind of buzz and a much longer video. That's about a 2-hour video. I just had this clear memory of being at a funeral. One of my favorite people in the whole world passed away in '95. A guy named Chaz. A piece of weed on my lap. Speaking of Chaz, there's a piece of weed on my lap. And somebody had rolled a joint. It was just this massive fucking chewhooga joint. And I did my best to hit it and couldn't really get a hit off it. And I went to hand it to the guy next to me and realized it was a cop and handed it to the guy past him. And this is well before medical marijuana passed or any marijuana passed. That cop didn't say a fucking word to nobody. There were multiple cops that knew him, and there was other cops that showed up in their official duty. Nobody mentioned that fucking quarter pound of weed that was getting smoked down at the cemetery. No one mentioned the weed being smoked in the funeral home. A big pile of weed in the casket. Everybody throwing doobies and buds and shit in the casket. And strictly because I knew Chaz would get the joke, I walked up, looked in there and saw that weed and shook my head and went, "You silly bastards. What's he gonna do without a lighter?" Tossed my lighter in there. So he was buried with a Bic that I bought at the Shell station that morning. If by some fucking bizarre chance there's an afterlife and this motherfucker wakes up in a pile of weed without a lighter, things are not going to start off well. Holy moly, this is good. So I got this motherfucking thing I found. It's been missing in one of my, well, it's been in the back of my computer bag forever. And it's from Spectrum Health. And it has, oh shit, a bunch of chest and rib and sternum stuff on it. And then a bunch of my brain scan stuff on it. Pictures of my tumor and shit. But I don't no longer have a fucking piece of equipment that'll run a fucking DVD, CD, whatever you call those, CD-ROM, CD. I don't have a CD thing on this. I don't need one anymore. I forgot I even had that fucking thing. But I think I can get all that just in a fucking email to me. It was pretty cool when I got it, you know, because I had a CD-ROM computer and I could pull up all my shit and look at it myself. Pretty cool. And I could bring it with me to another doctor or wherever, and they didn't have to wait for records. It was all right there. It's not getting much smaller, is it? It's 2 papers long, and I'm just not getting to the. I still have about this far to go to get to the second paper. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open, huh? Pretty dank. I got me a little toy from the neighbor lady, and it's a little classical guitar. And I've been trying to learn new shit, so I've been doing a thing that goes like that. It's kind of a groove. I'm trying to learn to do more finger picking and that kind of shit. But it's fun to play with because it's almost like practicing playing an electric guitar because it's got no strings on it, so it's looser. It's just fun to noodle the fuck around on and shit. And it's real light and easy to play and fun and stuff. And I've been playing my other one a little bit, so my fingertips are all burnt. My Yamaha. And that's got Fender heavy strings on it, which is what I like. But it's starting to pull the bridge up because it's a piece of shit. Fucking Fender, fucking piece of shit. Should fucking melt it down, make a Fender for a Toyota is what we ought to do. Not a fan of Fender guitars. I've said this before. What else have I been working on? I've just kind of been playing this stupid little groove that goes on. It turns around. Whatever. Just fucking around with different grooves all the time, trying to find new shit to do. Every now and then I learn an actual song by somebody else, and then I fucking play it until I can play it all the way through, and then I fucking forget it a week later. Because I'm not interested in it. I can't tell you how many times I've learned and forgotten how to play Highway to Hell. I have to figure it out every time now. I think the first time I learned it was like fucking 30 years ago when it came out. But I just don't care for it. I don't care for playing other people's stuff. I would rather just sit and it's the first thing that comes to mind. Rinse and repeat. So, yeah, that's what I do. I kind of wish I had a mandolin. Them were fun to fuck with. Right now, I got my flute. I got my harmonica. Ain't played that in a while. Got some shit laying around to play with. There's a piano in the house and an organ, or not an organ, it's a clavinova, electric clavinova, Yamaha one. Hey, we got a joint to smoke now. Good thing I turned it off. It's Gatorade. I'm not sure exactly what the effects of having tons of fucking electrolytes in your system all the time is on smoking weed, but I am sure I like it. Wonder why this goddamn thing's so blurry. It's still blurry. I mean, this is like a $600 laptop. It shouldn't have a blurry ass motherfucking. Whoa, it's dark in here. No, not really. It's just LED, right? LED lighting. Oh, it just makes me look washed out. What about? So you guys get to watch me experiment, right? Alright, while I smoke a joint. Oh, now I look like one of the old timey movies. Speaking of old timey movies, let me turn the brightness back up here. This lady in this picture right here, one of my favorite people to ever grace this planet. A woman named Barbara Jean Barton. She passed away a long time ago, but someone that definitely left an imprint in my life and taught me more about kindness than I think anybody else in my life ever did. And she, as the kids would say, was super mega on fleek. Or is that gone now? She was cashmere sweaters and perfectly groomed hair and blah, 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 and everything every day. On point. Hell of a woman. I miss her. So throughout my life, I've met numerous people who have said to me, I will smoke you to fucking sleep. Or I will warn somebody, if you hang out with me, you're gonna end up taking naps. Dude, I've been chiefing weed my whole life. I ain't worried about it. Okay. And my buddy 40, just before he passed, he had cancer bad. And about 6 months before he passed, we took the dog down on the beach, let her run around and bark at rocks. And he says, man, you can't sit me down. He says, I will smoke weed and smoke weed and smoke weed and smoke weed. I said, all right, man. Gotcha. Bet. Reach in my backpack, pull out my little mobile tray, which is up there. Well, it's actually a pencil box. And I took these 2 fucking 8-gram blunts that I bought at the weed store, and I rolled them in fucking key. First, I smoked the first one, and he was still with me. And about halfway through the second one, he was laying up against a tree. Couldn't hit it no more. He says, I'm not sitting down. I said, you would be if I smacked you with a Q-tip. Motherfucker. No, I'm not sitting down. You fucking fell the fuck. Hit this joint, bitch. Come on now. We're not even a half ounce into this yet, buddy. Come on. I watch some people drink, and they have more and more and more and more fun until they're not, and they pass out and go to sleep. No problem, except they feel like shit the next day. Weed works the same way with me. When I want to party on it, it's just more and more and more and more fun. I use it also to maintain and to deal with other issues and to keep appetite up and to keep weight on and fucking all these other things that I do with it. But I also like party on it right now. The last few days, actually. I'm really disappointed in the quality of this camera. I can't just. It should be so much better, in my opinion. I don't understand why it's this way. I think. I mean, I've got a good computer. It shouldn't have a shit fucking camera on it, I would think. I mean, you can't even read like these stickers up here behind me, which you totally should be able to. I don't know. My phone's not much better, so. But it's just the fucking cheapest little Samsung you can buy. It was $100. A something. 24 minutes, the joint hasn't even slowed down. This is the first thing I learned to play. Woogie, woogie, woogie. He's moving you guys all over the fucking house. I don't like the way this camera looks. It sucks. Bad and I'm ugly. And that light is too harsh. But without it, I look like a fucking ghost. Right? What about if I turn on these? No. No, I'm blue. I don't want to be blue, man. I find that shit disturbing. I was fucking doing nitrous with a bunch of my friends one day. It was back when them weird round sunglasses were popular. And I was looking at this chick. And I'm like, she's turning blue. Grab that balloon. Somebody grabs the balloon out of her hand and goes, what? Well, she's turning blue. She reaches out and takes my sunglasses off, and they're blue. They're like the little round ones with blue lenses. They used to be blue, blue, red, green, whatever. Stupid. It hurt my eyes. I don't know why I was wearing them. I thought the chick was turning blue. It was just the stupid shades I was wearing. I was high as fuck, though. I was doing a bunch of nitrous. Hi, Copper. I smell bacon. I smell chops. I smell pork. Must be the cops. So I got into a debate with a semi-famous cop blogger, video logger, and started in the chat on his YouTube channel, and he started talking about it on the show. And I should have saved the show because that fucker burned up a half an hour talking about how I could come on with a camera and debate him face to face instead of just answering the simple questions I was asking in the chat. And he wouldn't. And then he starts coming after me on fucking Facebook Messenger, and I debated him on there. This dude's black, he's Christian, and he's a cop. Which means I'm gonna hurt his fifis. You're African, you're in a cult, and you're a slave catcher. Prove me wrong. You can ask any cop you want, is the government corrupt? They'll say, fuck yeah, it is. We know the government's corrupt. Everybody knows the government's corrupt. You can't be a good cop because the government's corrupt. You're enforcing corruption. If you know it's corrupt and you're enforcing it, you're corrupt. Okay? The only way for you to be good cops is to not obey the government when they're corrupt. Ta-da! Half an hour in, we're about halfway through this, and it's really going to slow down now, because about where the two papers came together is where I put the keef. So we're about to hit that. Holy shit, my eyes are fucking shiny now. I wish there was some options or some shit that I could play with on this motherfucker to make it look different, but all it gives me is brightness for live action fucking with. And I suppose I could probably find some kind of better software to run my camera, or I could just find a better. You know what? I have like a JVC handheld camera that has storage issues, but I wonder if I could get it to work as a webcam. Probably could. I'm a little bit smart. I'm not a lot bit smart, but I'm a little bit smart. Holy elevator rides, Batman. This weed just takes you going. Vroom, vroom. For the record, I'm finishing this, taking about a 2-mile hike down to the beach and back, and then I'm going to bed. One of my meditations to try to rewire my brain is to walk a trail that I know as well as my hand in the dark without lights. And trust me, when you're in brush, it's not brush, it's salal. It's just green leafy shit that you see all around here. And you're going down a hill and the moon's and it's cloudy. It's pitch fucking black down that trail. Trail's that wide. But rewiring your brain to just trust your instincts and move and know when to slow down and when to speed up and when you're okay and when you're not. It's good stuff. Especially when your brain's been looks like a 10-year-old autistic hacker's been in it. Looking for crayons. I want crayons. So there's more and more and more sand on my beach, and I'm finding it very fucking disturbing, and I hope it goes away. I can't wait for winter. I hate winter because it rains all the time, but I want a huge fucking storm to come along. As far as I'm concerned, there's a couple houses that get knocked down too. They're close already. Their fucking rose bush went over the cliff. The cliff fell off from underneath their rose bush the other day. Chunk of their yard about 8 wide. 18, about 24 inches wide. And I missed it. I wasn't there. I missed it by like an hour maybe. Couldn't have been much more. Cause it was there an hour before that. Oh boy. My other guitar is steel string. I'll show you that one. This was just a gift from a nice lady because I worked on her house for her pretty cheap when she was short on money. You've all seen these before. Basic standard fucking Fender. And it doesn't sound horrible. See what I'm doing. Not a bad little guitar, but it's Fender. It's just really, especially up and down the neck, it just lacks any pizzazz. When you get up into this part of the neck, it's a lot harder to play though. And I lost my last pick, so I can't pick it, man. Whatever. 35 minutes, man. Look how much these fucking joints left. Holy shit. I ran out of shit to talk about 15 minutes ago. Unless you want to talk Kalamata olives. I found me a good deal on Kalamata olives. $1.99 for a nice little jar. I love them. You know. I'm probably going to take this with me down to the beach. There's another 20 minutes left on it, probably. Doobies with Doug. Longform.